Cumhurbaşkanı Sayın Marie-Louise Colerio Preca salonumuzu teşrif etmişlerdir. Sayın konuk Cumhurbaşkanı'na hoş geldiniz diyoruz efendim.
Her Excellency President of Malta, Marie-Louise Colerio Preca, honored our hall. Thank you.
Türkiye Cumhuriyeti Kültür ve Turizm Bakanımız Sayın Mehmet Nuri Ersoy salonumuzu teşrif ettiler. Hoş geldiniz Sayın Bakanımız.
Minister of Culture and Tourism of Republic of Turkey honored our hall. Welcome.
Ekselansları, kıymetli hanımefendiler, kıymetli beyefendiler, Türkiye Cumhuriyeti Kültür ve Turizm Bakanlığı, Dünya Turizm Örgütü, Birleşmiş Milletler Eğitim, Bilim ve Kültür Örgütü ortaklığında herkesin yararına temasıyla düzenlenen 3. Dünya Turizm ve Kültür Konferansı'na hepiniz hoş geldiniz, şeref verdiniz efendim.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Third World Conference on Tourism and Culture, co-organized by Ministry of Culture and Tourism of the Republic of Turkey, the World Tourism Organization and United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, which targets the theme of benefits for all.
Efendim, Türk kültür ve mirasında yer alan ve dünyanın en göze çarpan turist destinasyonlarından, dünyanın en güzel şehirlerinden, kadim şehir İstanbul'dayız, Yeditepe'li şehir İstanbul'dayız. İstanbul ilk kez Dünya Turizm ve Kültür Konferansı'na ev sahipliği yapıyor. Daha önceki oturumlar 2015 yılında Kamboçya'nın Siem Reap kentinde ve daha yakın zamanda 2017 yılında Umman'ın Maskat kentinde düzenlenmişti.
One of the world's most iconic tourist destinations stepped in Turkish culture and heritage. Here we are in Istanbul, one of the most beautiful city of the world. This is the first time Istanbul hosting the World Conference on Tourism and Culture. The previous editions were held in Siem Reap, Cambodia in 2015 and more recently in Muscat, Oman in 2017.
Efendim, bugün düzenlenen konferans en yeni teknolojiler, konuk yönetimi modelleri ve kültürel değerleri korurken ziyaretçilere ve yerel halka geniş çaplı yararlar getirecek yaklaşımlar üzerine odaklanacak.
Today's conference will focus on the latest technologies, visitor management models and approaches that bring the widest range of benefits to visitors and locals, while safeguarding cultural values.
Kültürel turizmin nasıl sürdürülebilir olacağı ve Birleşmiş Milletler'in 2030 Sürdürülebilir Kalkınma Gündemi ve onun 17 sürdürülebilir kalkınma hedeflerine katkı yapabileceği ile ilgili yolculuğumuzda bugün sizlerle birlikte olmaktan büyük mutluluk ve gurur duyuyoruz.
It's a great pleasure for me to be here with you today, as we go on a journey together, exploring how a cultural tourism that is both sustainable and responsible can contribute to the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda and its 17 Sustainable Development Goals.
Turizm ve kültürel değişimin daha fazla tanıtılması için harika bir başlangıç noktası olan ve 5 kıtadan tüm dünya temsilcileri olarak bugün bu kongrede olduğumuzu gururla söyleyebiliriz.
And we can proudly say that today we have here at this Congress people from all over the world, representatives from 5 continents, which is a great starting point for further promoting tourism and cultural exchange.
Ekselansları, kıymetli hanımefendiler, kıymetli beyefendiler, 3. Dünya Turizm ve Kültür Konferansı açılış konuşmalarıyla başlıyor.
Our Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed with the opening of the Third World Conference on Tourism and Culture.
İlk olarak konuşmalarını yapmak üzere Türkiye Cumhuriyeti Kültür ve Turizm Bakanı Sayın Mehmet Nuri Ersoy'u kürsüye davet ediyorum.
It's my pleasure.
Malta Cumhurbaşkanı Sayın Maria Luiz Coleira Preca, Sayın Birleşmiş Milletler Dünya Turizm Örgütü Genel Sekreteri Zurab Pololikashvili, saygıdeğer bakanlar, değerli UNESCO Genel Direktör Yardımcısı, kıymetli misafirler. Sizleri dünyanın en güzel şehirlerinden biri olan kültür başkentimiz İstanbul'da ağırlamaktan mutluluk duyuyoruz. Şehrimize ve konferansımıza hoş geldiniz diyor, sizleri sevgi ve saygıyla selamlıyorum. Sürdürülebilir kalkınmaya, kültür ve turizmin katkısını konuşacağımız konferansımızı, bu kapsamdaki küresel zorluklara yönelik ortak bir vizyon ve yol haritası çıkarılması açısından çok önemsiyorum. Herkesin yararına temasıyla gerçekleşecek konferansın, dünya turizmi adına şimdiden hayırlı olmasını diliyorum. Turizm şüphesiz dünyada en hızlı gelişen sektörlerden biri. Ülke ekonomilerine yaptığı yadsınamaz katkının yanı sıra halkların birbirlerini tanımaları ve evrensel barış için de son derece önemli bir araç. Öte yandan dünya genelindeki turizm hareketlerine baktığımızda seyahatlerin %40'ının kültür turizmi odaklı olduğunu görüyoruz. Dolayısıyla kültür ve turizmin aynı başlık adı altında ele alınmasının çok yerinde olduğunu düşünüyorum. Tarihi ve kültürel mirası bir ülkenin kendisine özgü ve korunması gereken en önemli değerleridir. Değerli konuklar, Türkiye gerek coğrafi, gerekse kültürel anlamda önemli bir turizm potansiyelini muhafaza ediyor. Ülkemiz sadece doğal güzellikleriyle değil, kültürel anlamda da büyük bir donanıma sahip. Göçlerin, savaşların, ticaretin, inançların ve kahramanlık destanlarının ana yurdu olan topraklarımız, kültürel anlamda da çok bereketli. Bu cazibe alanı doğal olarak dünyanın pek çok yerinden milyonlarca ziyaretçiyi tarih boyunca birçok medeniyete ev sahipliği yapmış bu topraklara çekiyor. Turizmin gelişmesi, ülkemizin dünya turizm gelir pastasından daha çok pay almasını, vatandaşlarımızın da kendi ülkesine daha iyi tanıyarak zenginliklerimizin farkına varmasını sağladı. Sürdürülebilir turizmi sadece ziyaretçilerin değil, bölge halkının ihtiyaçlarını da gözeterek çevresel, sosyal ve kültürel değerlerin korunmasını ve bu sayede kısa vadeli değil, kalıcı fayda sağlamaya amaçlayan bir turizm yaklaşımı olarak değerlendiriyorum. Bu da bize özellikle şehirleşme sürecinde kültürel varlıklarımızın korunması noktasına getiriyor. Bugünü yaşarken dünü unutmadan geleceği planlayabilmek çok önemli. Bölge olarak, ülke olarak sahip olduğumuz büyük potansiyel, aynı zamanda bize büyük ve tarihi bir sorumluluk da yüklüyor. An itibariyle 153 farklı noktada arkeolojik kazılarımız devam ediyor. Tarihin belli dönemlerine ışık tutacak bu çalışmaları çok ama çok önemsiyoruz. Geçtiğimiz günlerde biliyorsunuz dünyaca ünlü Çingene Kızı mozaiğimizin kayıp parçalarına kavuştuk. Bu hususta ABD yetkililerine de hassasiyetlerinden ve iyi niyetli yaklaşımlarından dolayı teşekkür ediyorum. Çingene Kızı'nın sevincinden sonra yüzümüzü güldüren bir gelişme daha oldu. Dede Korkut destanımız UNESCO'nun somut olmayan kültürel mirası temsili listesine oy birliğiyle dahil edildi. Bu yöndeki çalışmalarımıza özel sektörümüz de ciddi destek veriyor. Ülkemize ekonomik katkılarının yanı sıra kültürel anlamda da desteklerini esirgemeyen Doğuş grubunun sponsorluğunda Göbekli Tepe'yi bir ikon haline getirmeyi hedefliyoruz. Kendilerine teşekkürü bir borç biliyorum. Tüm bu çerçevede belirtmek isterim ki dünyaya sunacağımız, onlarla paylaşacağımız çok değerimiz var. Bu zenginliği tüm dünyaya açmak için kararlılıkla çalışıyoruz. Bu arada bir noktaya dikkat çekmeyi özellikle istiyorum. Bence her eser kendi ülkesinde, ait olduğu yerde güzel, orada daha bir anlamlı. Yasa dışı yollarla ait oldukları yerden kaçırılarak yurt dışına çıkarılan eserlerin ülkelerine iadesi ve yasa dışı trafiğin önlenmesinde en temel uluslararası mevzuat olma niteliği taşıyan, Türkiye dahil 127 ülkenin taraf olduğu UNESCO 1970 Sözleşmesi bu nedenle çok önemli. Tüm dünya ülkelerine ortak kültürel mirasımız olan eserlerin ait oldukları yerde korunması ve gelecek nesillere aktarılması hususunda daha da hassasiyet göstermeleri adına çağrıda bulunmak istiyorum. Saygıdeğer katılımcılar, her mevsim, her çeşit turizmin yapılabileceği bir ülkede yaşıyoruz. Kültür turizmi, sağlık turizmi, yaz-kış turizmi, golf turizmi, kongre fuar turizmi gibi geniş kapsamlı destinasyon seçeneklerimiz var. Turizm alanlarındaki gelişme çabalarımızın karşılığını da almaya başladık. Türkiye turizmde son yılların rekorlarını kırmaya devam ediyor. Yılın ilk 3 çeyreğinde yaklaşık 32 milyon dünya vatandaşını ülkemize misafir ettik. Ocak-Ekim 2018 döneminde geçen yıla oranla %23 artış sağladık. Hedeflerimiz doğrultusunda turizmde küresel etik ilkeler bildirgesi özel sektör taahhüdünün de imzalanacağı konferansın düzenlenmesinde Birleşmiş Milletler Dünya Turizm Örgütü ve UNESCO başta olmak üzere emeği geçen herkese teşekkürlerimi sunuyorum. Herkesin yararına olan işbirliğimizin devamını ve hepimiz için hayırlı olmasını diliyor. Hepinize en içten duygularımla selamlıyorum.
We thank to the Minister of Culture and Tourism of the Republic of Turkey.
Efendim, Türkiye Cumhuriyeti Kültür ve Turizm Bakanı Sayın Mehmet Nuri Ersoy'a konuşmaları için teşekkür ediyoruz. Ekselansları, kıymetli hanımefendiler, kıymetli beyefendiler, şimdi ne yazık ki burada, İstanbul'da bizimle birlikte olamayan UNESCO Genel Sekreteri Sayın Audrey Azoulay'nin görüntülü mesajını sizlerle paylaşmak istiyoruz.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now have a video message from the Director General of UNESCO, Ms. Audrey Azoulay, who unfortunately cannot be with us today in Istanbul.
It is a pleasure to address you this afternoon, and I regret very much that I'm not able to be with you today for this third World Conference on Tourism and Culture, co-organized by UNESCO and the World Tourism Organization. Cultural tourism is one of the fastest growing segments of the tourism industry. It now accounts for around 40% of world tourism revenues, with 1.3 billion people traveling to foreign countries each year. Nowhere this is better illustrated than at the 1,092 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, which welcome millions of travelers every year. Cultural tourism brings tremendous benefits to national economies, while fueling local development, and it is critical in promoting intercultural exchange. Yet, it is not without its risks and challenges. Mismanaged tourism can have negative effects on heritage and communities. We need to solve the crucial challenge of balancing tourism development with the safeguarding of heritage in a holistic manner, focusing also on living heritage and cultural diversity as well. We have to promote a truly sustainable tourism that propels socio-economic growth and development, while actively supporting and respecting local communities, their environment, culture, history, in full dialogue with the communities concerned. We must also ensure new technologies are employed in the service of these communities, creators, artists. UNESCO is committed to working with you to achieve this vision. Our Creative Cities Network is just one of many examples of our efforts to further innovative and responsible approaches in the development of cultural tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to thank the government of Turkey and the city of Istanbul for hosting this event, and to express my gratitude to each of you for your commitment to making culture and tourism work for people and communities everywhere. I wish you a very, very successful event.
Efendim, biz de Sayın Azoulay'e bu görüntülü mesaj için teşekkür ediyoruz.
Thank you, UNESCO, for this valuable message.
Ekselansları, kıymetli hanımefendiler, kıymetli beyefendiler, şimdi konuşmalarını yapmak üzere Birleşmiş Milletler Dünya Turizm Örgütü Genel Sekreteri Sayın Zurab Pololikashvili'yi kürsüye davet ediyorum.
I would like to introduce Mr. Zurab Pololikashvili, the Secretary General of the UNWTO. Mr. Pololikashvili, the floor is yours.
Good morning, dear friends, dear ministers. Merci, Madame Azoulay. I wish to start by thanking our host, the Republic of Turkey, for the great supporting organizing a well-attended conference. And we are glad we can bring together such a large gathering of ministers and leaders from the world of culture and tourism. As you see, we have numbers of high-level representatives, ministers, deputy ministers from more than 40 countries, and this is another success of our event. This is another confirmation that our co-branding and cooperation with the UNESCO is bringing more and more interest, and we are very glad to see it. We are very glad to have all of you, and thank you for your attendance, because your participation is crucial for us. I mentioned yesterday, I want to repeat that This is not only conference, this is a place where you can meet with the 40 or with the 35 ministers, and it's not easy to reach all of them together from different continents, different countries, and this is more than PhD, I think. You can learn a lot of things in 2 days, talking and sharing the experience with you. For me, it's excellent opportunity to listen to you and to learn more about culture, more about tourism, and more about how we can use culture attractives. And Istanbul is, I'm sure that you all will agree that this is fantastic crossroad for Africa, for Americas, for Europe, for Asia. I mean, this is the place with a huge cultural heritage. And I want to thank you, especially Minister Ersoy, for your support and for your high organization of this wonderful event. Tourism grew over 20% in Turkey in last year, and again, in the first half of this year, we're looking forward, and we are very glad to see that the numbers are coming back to the previous years, and I congratulate you of overseeing the successful recovery of Turkish tourism from recent challenges. We have very special and important guests, and I want to thank you especially again, dear President Preka, for your presence, your support, and your presence here. It's crucial, and we are very grateful for your presence today. Malta, as you know, dear friends, stands as the crossroads of two continents and possesses a district culture based on a rich history. It's relevant that you are here to impart your knowledge and experience of the culture and tourism and partnership, and thank you for your dedication to tourism and tool for development and cooperation. You really bring all of us together, and your leadership is crucial. I mean, that's what we want, and that's what we need, and tourism sector needs the leaders talking about tourism, and your presence again, it's very important, especially for me and for all of us and for our guests, and thank you again. Dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third UNWTO UNESCO World Conference on Tourism and Culture. As it was mentioned, the first one we had it in Cambodia, the last one last year it was in Oman, and we have a minister from Oman, by the way, and thank you, Minister. And next year we will celebrate in Japan. I mean, every year we have more and more attendance, and again, culture is becoming and became the very important part of tourism sector. The theme of this year conference is for the benefit of all. We are focused on the global trends surrounding culture tourism and how we can use them to bring the widest possible range of benefits to both tourists and locals. Safeguarding cultural values and heritage is one of these. It's duty of the tourism sector. It falls with responsible tourism principles and UNWTO's Global Code of Ethics for Tourism. But it's also one of the biggest motivation for people to travel. Today, travelers look for experience that they will remember more than goods and services. They look to give something back to the places and the people they visit. These trends have helped make cultural tourism one of the drivers behind tourism continued growth. Experience tourism draws up the world's intangible cultural heritage. It's living culture which is kept alive by communities through generations. How can we make tourism a responsible partner of safeguarding this living culture? How can we use the digital advances that are transforming our sector to make cultural tourism more inclusive and accessible to all? And what is the role of creative cities in pushing towards sustainable development through tourism and culture? These are some of the issues we are here to discuss. We will also ask our ministers how we can strengthen collaboration between tourism, culture, and community. Communities are basis for all partnerships and efforts to develop cultural tourism in a meaningful and sustainable way. By giving a prominent role to communities, we align cultural tourism both the demands of the modern traveler and the responsibility that the Global Code of Ethics Tourism promotes. I look forward to the discussion. We have both ministers and practitioners here, and I invite you all to meet and share knowledge so we reinforce to share vision for culture tourism development. I also invite to be inspired by Istanbul, one of the the greatest city in the world and city where cultures meet. Again, thank you and have a successful conference. It's a pleasure again. Unfortunately, the Director General from UNESCO, she could not be with us, but we have a very big delegation from UNESCO under Secretary, Deputy General Director, he is with us. And again, this event is becoming a new trend and new brand for all of us, and let's use this platform. And I want to ask all participants to be active, don't be shy, and to use this opportunity to work together and to make tourism and culture closer, and to use these opportunities to have a better sector and stronger competitive sector in the world. Thank you again, and have a nice and enjoy Istanbul.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pololikashvili, for your speech.
Efendim Sayın Pololikashvili'ye biz de konuşmaları için teşekkür ediyoruz. Bugün bizi burada bir araya getiren 3 ana kuruluşun açılış konuşmalarından sonra 3. Dünya Turizm ve Kültür Konferansı'nın resmi olarak açılışını memnuniyetle ilan ediyoruz.
After these opening words from the three main bodies who have brought us together today, I am very happy to declare the Third World Conference on Tourism and Culture officially open.
Ekselansları, kıymetli hanımefendiler, kıymetli beyefendiler, gündemimizin ilk konusu için konuşmalarını yapmak üzere Malta Cumhurbaşkanı Ekselans Marie-Louise Colerio-Preca'yı sahneye davet etmekten onur duyuyor.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for our first item on agenda, we are honored to invite Her Excellency, Miss Marie-Louise Colerio-Preca, President of Malta, to the stage.
Alkışlarınızla efendim.
Honorable Minister of Turkey Tourism, Minister, Your Excellency, Secretary General of the UNWTO, my dear friend Zurab, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, dear friends. It is truly my pleasure to be in Istanbul, this wonderful, beautiful city, and to have the opportunity to address you during this Third World Conference on Tourism and Culture. I would also like to commend the collaboration between the UNWTO and UNESCO for facilitating this important conference. The theme of this conference, for the benefit of all, is truly befitting, because tourism, in synergy with culture, has the potential to generate growth, not only at a national and regional level, but also it can create direct and immediate socio-economic gains for local communities. When speaking of the interconnection between the tourism industry and culture, we are also speaking of community-level tourism. We are also essentially promoting the much-needed dialogue among diverse cultures in today's world. Let me urge you, from the outset, as stakeholders in the tourism industry, to transform this industry into a new form of diplomacy. Let me encourage you to think of tourism as also a catalyst for diplomacy. Tourism diplomacy is a way of opening up to tourists visiting our countries to understand, acknowledge, and respect each other's diverse cultures. Tourism diplomacy is so much needed in today's uncertain and suspicious approach towards one another. In this context, I truly believe that a more sustainable and responsible tourism industry will need to embrace the cultural sector. This is to ensure that the tourist will have the opportunity to explore and appreciate the local culture. Through this approach, local communities will also benefit from the prosperity created by the industry. As I see it, it is only in this way that the tourism industry can serve to create inclusive prosperity, social cohesion, and peace for all humanity. This can be ensured by developing and by giving the visibility that is needed, for example, to the cultural and traditional heritage of all communities within our societies. As we all know, tourism is a job-generating industry due to its labor-intensive character. Therefore, if the tourism industry reaches out to local communities, it can also help to develop dignified job opportunities for diversely skilled and qualified people on a community level. To further my argument, allow me to share the experience and good practices of my country regarding the importance to bringing tourism and culture in synergy. As a Mediterranean country, the tourism industry of Malta has been one of the most long-standing pillars of the Maltese economy. Therefore, we are very acquainted with the benefits derived from the tourism industry. Through our long-standing experiences, we became very aware of the importance of developing a sustainable tourism product by incorporating within this product our diverse and rich culture. We have learned how to offer a distinctive and authentic experience to the millions of visitors that now choose Malta as their holiday destination all the year round. A very visible and constructive example of what I am talking about is this year's celebration of Valletta's term as the European Capital of Culture. Valletta's successful nomination as the European Capital of Culture gave us the opportunity to put a spotlight on our historical heritage and also on the many traditions that are still enjoyed in the many diverse, quaint villages of the Maltese Islands. Moreover, in preparation to this year-long event, the cultural sector in Malta has been empowered and encouraged to participate together with other foreign artists who were invited to Malta to take part in the numerous Valletta 2018 events. This has led to a multicultural and multidisciplinary experience, which was enjoyed by locals and tourists alike. In fact, the positive socio-economic impact of Valletta as the European Capital of Culture was tangibly seen in the substantial increase of more than 18% in first-time tourists and another 9% increase in repeat tourists for the first 3 quarters of this year. This year-long cultural and touristic venture has resulted into attracting tourists from across the globe. Malta has seen a 26% increase of tourists hailing from non-European Union countries and as far as Australia. In fact, there was a substantial increase of 27% from the Australian market alone. Even the traditional European Union markets increased by 14%. This was part of the positive socio-economic impact as a result of factoring in the cultural and traditional sectors in the Maltese touristic brand. Another important outcome from these endeavors was the creation of a sense of connection with visitors coming to Malta. One can easily say that a powerful spirit of friendship and hospitality was uniquely created this year. Undoubtedly, tourism provides us with a significant common ground for sharing. We all know that tourism has the ability to bring multiple stakeholders to work together in synergy and not in competition. This is because every stakeholder brings their own unique contribution to the industry. Every country and community has its own particular culture and identity, which can offer an inspiring experience to our visitors. A perfect example of this cultural synergy through tourism is what we are endeavoring to achieve here in the Mediterranean region. Our individual Mediterranean countries have their own distinctive histories and cultures. Yet we come together as one region to celebrate a uniquely Mediterranean identity. Celebrating this practical synergy among Mediterranean countries is at the heart of the ethos of the Mediterranean Tourism Foundation, which was set up a few years ago and of which I am the proud patron. The Mediterranean Tourism Foundation is promoting initiatives within and among the countries of the Mediterranean for the benefit of all of our communities and societies. The Mediterranean Tourism Foundation seeks to promote peace through intercultural connections by taking initiatives for the development of sustainable tourism in our region, in partnership with UNWTO and other regional and international stakeholders. The MTF comes together through its annual Global Forum to discuss challenges which are currently being faced by the industry, but also, and even more importantly, to find and develop the practical solutions to address the concerns of the business stakeholders and also of our diverse people. The MTF believes that for the industry to be sustainable and mutually beneficial for both tourists and residents alike, we must focus on responsible tourism. As the Mediterranean Tourism Foundation, we endeavor to meet the objectives of responsible tourism in a two-pronged approach and process, by improving locations so that benefits will be enjoyed by both local residents and communities, as well as the tourists visiting the area. We also believe that responsible tourism commits our private sector stakeholders and our authorities to make tourism more respectful and sustainable to provide a dignified life for all. I'm pleased to say that this approach is already being adopted in my country, whereby my government is working in synergy with the Mediterranean Tourism Foundation, which is and the MHRA, which is the national organization that represents all the private stakeholders in the sector, and the founding partner of the Mediterranean Foundation. The Maltese government and MTF are embarking on regeneration projects for specific areas which have, over the years, unfortunately, created a perception of over-tourism due to the lack of a sustainable approach. The government and the Mediterranean Tourism Foundation in my country are investing in strategies for sustainable tourism to take proactive and practical actions to overcome any risks of adverse socio-economic and environmental impacts. This approach is also helping to generate greater economic benefits to the respective communities while enhancing a good feel factor. These strategies for respectful and responsible tourism are a must for the success of the industry. We need to ensure that we overcome the perception of over-tourism, which is growing in certain countries, and the strain that can be caused on the local infrastructures and communities. Therefore, our tourism strategies must be holistic. We need to involve not only the industry stakeholders, but also local communities and civil society organizations. We need to encourage everybody to share their aspirations and to be active participants in the decisions that affect their lives and livelihoods. In this context, I would like to take this opportunity to encourage all the stakeholders within the Mediterranean tourism industry to join the Mediterranean Tourism Foundation. On the other hand, I would like to invite all of you, all global stakeholders, to join us in Malta for our annual Mediterranean Tourism Forum, which is to be organized in February 2019. This forum will continue to upgrade our discussion on the importance of a tourism industry that needs to be continuously proactive so as to keep up with all the latest developments, as we believe that sustainable tourism has to be relevant at all times. In fact, this year, we will also be enhancing our discussion regarding the importance of embracing technology within the industry, and specifically focusing on blockchain and tourism, and of how this innovative technology can be used to create further efficiency for the industry. The plans for this global forum can be further explained by the Secretary General of the Foundation, Mr. Andrew Muscat, who is also present here today. I'm sure that he would be more than willing to answer any of your queries regarding the Foundation itself and this forthcoming global forum. Earlier, I also spoke of the positive effects garnered by Malta during Valletta's term as European Capital of Culture. For this reason, I would like to also share with you the forthcoming potential initiative being taken up by the Mediterranean Tourism Foundation for the organization of the Mediterranean Capital of Culture and Tourism. This initiative will create the opportunity for the countries of the Mediterranean to focus on their cultural and traditional heritage to attract more visitors to their respective countries. Therefore, I would like to encourage the countries of the Mediterranean to be on the lookout for details in the coming months with regards to this regional project. I would also like to tackle two other huge concerns that affect the tourism industry: climate change and our environment. Frankly speaking, if we truly want the tourism industry to have a future for our respective socio-economic growth, we need to focus on an effective, positive contribution to conserve the natural diversity and the cultural heritage of our world. Being sensitive in our strategies towards the cultures and the specific needs of each society will help us build trust and confidence between visitors and residents for the benefit of the industry and the peoples of our world. Such opportunities to build trust, confidence, and friendship will become increasingly important as more people travel and globalization continues to bring us closer. In this context, I would like to encourage a shared and long-term investment by all stakeholders supported by the international community to safeguard the sustainable future of our planet. As we speak, a gathering of many of our governments is taking place in Poland to continue with the discussion about climate change and its impact on our ecosystems. I do hope that the international community will pull up its socks and endeavor harder to meet the targets that it has established for itself, and which unfortunately are still way behind. We need to leave no stone unturned to safeguard our ecosystems and our planet. I'm sure that we are all aware that the tourism industry will be worst off with the negative impacts of climate change, which we are, unfortunately, already witnessing. Therefore, I believe that we, as the diverse stakeholders of this important industry, need to commit ourselves through effective strategies to address climate change as an intrinsic part of building a sustainable tourism industry. We must not only work together as stakeholders, but also we must motivate all of our national and international authorities in the tourism sector to uphold their commitments towards a sustainable planet for all. A practical initiative which I would like to share from my own country is the work being done by the authorities and civil society activists to free Maltese beaches and coastline from plastics. We are endeavoring to become the world's leading destination for environmental ocean tourism and to fulfill Malta's aspirations to become a plastic-free ocean area. Such an initiative will contribute not only to address some of the concerns creating by climate change, but also to a healthier and sustainable tourism industry. This is another area where the Mediterranean Tourism Foundation will be potentially taking practical initiatives so as to make the Mediterranean Sea plastic-free. The Mediterranean Tourism Foundation believes that with such practical initiatives, we can save our marine ecosystems and contribute directly to the attainment of the United Nations Agenda 2030. In this context, we also have a responsibility to ensure an environmentally sensitive tourism industry as part of our international commitment to implement the entire United Nations Agenda 2030 and its 17 Sustainable Development Goals. The United Nations Agenda 2030 is the perfect roadmap for us to achieve the objectives of sustainable tourism investment. After all, this is in line with the mandate of the Muscat Declaration, which was the principal outcome of last year's World Conference on Tourism and Culture. This important matter is also very specific in SDG number 8, Target 9, which focuses on the importance of sustainable economies and tourism, and which states that by 2030, we are committed to devise and implement policies to promote sustainable tourism that create jobs and promote local culture and products. If all of us make this effective and practical contribution, we will be also targeting SDG 1, which is the eradication of poverty to end inequalities and injustices. Achieving SDG 1 is essential to fulfill our aspirations for the prosperous and peaceful future of our world. As the tourism sector expands, we must keep the environmental well-being of our ecosystems high on the agenda of the tourism industry. An environmentally responsible perspective will be of direct benefit, as was clearly indicated in a report published last year by the International Center for Agriculture and Biosciences. The report, entitled "The Potential of the Blue Economy in Tourism," says that the blue economy can be positively reinforced by the contributions of sustainable tourism. Such contributions include strategies to conserve our marine environments, while also effectively managing our coastal regions, which are a living part of the natural and cultural heritage of our countries. I would like to reiterate the importance of sustainable tourism in our international strategies to address current environmental instabilities and to promote the sustainable preservation of our global ecosystems. I'm pleased to note that the environmental degradation is becoming a concern among industry stakeholders, as the expectations of consumers to participate in a tourism industry that is respectful of the environment is increasing. Such concern for the future of our planet will continue to be reflected in the kind of choices that travelers and tourists make when they visit our countries. This is also emphasized by the latest Green Economy report, which was published by the United Nations Environment Programme and the UNWTO. One of the things that strikes me in this report is the emphasis on the urgent need for further investment by the international community to make the tourism industry greener, more environmentally responsible, and more responsive to the expectations of contemporary consumers. Beyond the environmental impact of tourism itself, we know that our entire world is changing as a result of the disruptive impact of climate change. These disruptions will only grow in severity, with negative repercussions for all of our regions and societies. Protecting our environment is essential to protect our culture, heritage for the benefit of both present and future generations. For this reason, I'm so proud to say that the Mediterranean Tourism Foundation has developed a groundbreaking app in partnership with the Maltese government to measure energy efficiency in the hospitality industry. This will address the high cost of energy expenditure in the tourism and hospitality industry, and also to contribute towards the reduction of CO2 emissions. Such practical efforts are clear evidence of the effective initiatives that can be taken and the need for more direct investment by the tourism sector, national governments, and the international community. This is another synergy that must take place to ensure that global issues such as climate change are addressed. A final point, which I would like to emphasize, is the interconnected relationship between peace building and tourism. It is very important for us to realize that there cannot be prosperity without peace. Peace is not simply the absence of violence. Peace is the positive transformation of our societies to be more equal, equitable, and just. And tourism is one of the most promising sectors in our countries to help in achieving peace. This fact is highlighted by indicators from last year's Tourism as a Driver of Peace report, published by the World Travel and Tourism Council, which reveals a strong link between tourism sectors that promote social, cultural, economic, and environmental sustainability and achieving peace. On concluding, let me reiterate that an investment in sustainable tourism does not only boost the economy of our countries. Investment in sustainable tourism also shows us a way of uniting the goals of economic development with the necessary respect for the diverse cultures and communities of our world. I believe that we must be bold. We have no alternative but to protect the precious natural and cultural heritage of our planet. Sustainable tourism maximizes the prosperity of local communities and creates an ideal context for global cultural and tourism diplomacy. Sustainable tourism reminds us of our commitment as one human family to respect universal human rights and fundamental freedoms which underpin our humanity. In a few days' time, we will be commemorating the 70th anniversary of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Our foremothers and forefathers 70 years ago had this important vision for all of us, a vision which is an integral part of the essential work that the UNWTO and UNESCO carry out. Therefore, I augur that we shall continue to be led by a rights-based perspective to promote a universal culture of peace and prosperity through sustainable tourism for the benefit of both present and future generations. Thank you.
It is our honor to have you with us today. Excellency, I would like to welcome you a few more minutes on the stage for a family photo. For family photo, I would like to invite Mr. Mehmet Nuri Ersoy, Minister of Culture and Tourism of the Republic of Turkey, Secretary General of UNWTO, all ministers and vice ministers on the stage.
Evet efendim, aile fotoğrafı için sayın bakanları da, bakan yardımcılarını da sahneye davet etmek istiyoruz. Ve sahnede bulunan ekselanslarının sahneden ayrılmamalarını rica edeceğiz. Bundan sonraki oturumumuz bakanlar oturumu olacak ve birazdan Sayın Rajan Datar'ı davet edeceğim. O oturumun moderatörü ve sayın bakanlara bilgi verecekler. Please sit. Please.
Can you please go after this for some more?
Sayın bakanlarımızın sahneden ayrılmamalarını rica edeceğiz.
Excellencies, we would like to welcome few more minutes on the stage.
Ve Sayın Racan Datar'ı, BBC'den program yapımcısı Sayın Racan Datar'ı davet etmek istiyoruz sahneye.
Our conference will continue with the ministry segment after coffee break. I would like to invite Mr. Rajan Datar to inform you about the segment.
Evet, 15 dakikalık bir aramız var. Siz değerli konuklarımızı fuaye alanına davet edelim. Sayın bakanlarımızı da sahnede tutalım ve Sayın Racan Datar'ı sahneye davet edelim. Sayın bakanlarımıza bilgi vermeleri açısından.
Dear guests, I would like to invite you to the coffee break about 15 minutes.
I would like to invite Mr. Rajan Datar to the stage.